Oh, hi.
You've got me in the shot.
There's people in it. Yeah, you're in it a bit more every time. I'm sort of easing you in gently.
Okay.
Breaking you in, as it were.
Is it too light?
Nah, I think it's all right. I mean, it is half my face has disappeared, but you can't see my brains or anything.
Oh, good.
Boom.
Right, if I just shut this a little. That's better, is it?
I don't know. Open it again. Yeah, that was better. Hi, everyone. Hi, Patreons, if you're watching this on the replay. Hi, everyone joining the stream. I'm just going to get you all up on my computer so I can see who the hell I'm chatting to. Let's turn my volume off. Just a little reminder to you to turn the volume off as well.
You have.
You're good people.
Because you go around posting in other platforms now, people can come into the room before you. So
yeah, it's quite nice, isn't it?
I was already in the room.
It's quite nice. Curtis White's in the house. Regita, the one above all. Yasmin's Conscious Kitchen. Sophus, are you new here? Yeah, good to see you. Anyway, Kat, the vegan artist. Gil Woolley. Gil Woolley. Do I pronounce that? Aries Princess. You look like you might be new too. Are you new? Where are you guys from? Veridis, Alicia Beavis, my IRL friend. BBH. JD Brunner. All the usuals are here, and a couple of new, possibly looking people. Ashley O'Flynn, Julia A, as always. Victoria Morris, obviously. The one above all, can animals show coronavirus symptoms similar to humans? I've got dogs to take care of. I want bunnies. I don't think you can make dogs to make bunnies. I think you have to get those specific species of animal. But apparently not. Apparently not. That virus hasn't zoonotically progressed to dogs, as far as I'm aware. I think the current thinking is it went from a bat to a pangolin to a human to someone who wanted a pangolin sandwich. Serves them right if you think about it. I don't mean to be nasty. Aries Princess, I've been watching. Oh, sorry, I missed someone there. Oh, it is Jill. It is Jill. Right, I'll try and get my head around that and remember that. Holly Alexandra Dyke, I am new to you. Thanks for joining. Where are you from? How's the vegan scene there? I mean, if you are in fact vegan, are you vegan? Are you looking at veganism currently? Or trying to eat plant-based for health, perhaps? I'd like to find out about the new people, and we'd like to welcome you to the community because we just really appreciate having some friends, particularly now in this time of isolation. Aries Princess, I've been watching your channel and lives for a long time now, just don't chat much. Oh, well, I hope you will chat now, and thanks for joining and thanks for supporting us. There's Cowboy Cat. There he is, getting all the love. Veridis, I'm going crazy not seeing my family for 3 weeks. Yeah, the struggle is real. Race leaver, Hench Herbivore reporting for duty. Thank you, sir. At ease, soldier. The one above all, bunnies are the cutest animals ever. They are pretty cute. Yeah, and pangolins are well cute. I only found out about pangolins a couple of days before I learned that people were eating them in China. And I thought, how can you eat such a cute little... They walk along on their back legs. They're like, I don't know.
They sort of roll up in a ball as well, I think.
Yeah, they're really cute. They're so cute. Raphael Pinto is in the house. Raphael Pinto, are you? Have I met you in real life? Are you a Vivo Life ambassador or something? You sound very familiar, or do I just know you from the YouTubes? Dean Troy, you know the way dog breeders and such that breed specific dogs for profit. What is dogs for the blind and autistic? Good question. I don't know really. Oh, that is Raphael. Oh, yeah, we met you before. I remember you're a really friendly, lovely guy. Nice to see you, brother. Nice to see you. Yeah, I don't really know. I'm not huge on animal ethics and, at what point is it exploitation? Of course, like We want humans to have support when they need it. And some breeds of animals, like they're so domesticated now, and they can integrate well into like a family or with a human. I don't really know what to say about it. I don't really know how I feel about it. I've not really looked enough into it. The longer I've been vegan, the more I feel awkward and a bit funny towards, not funny, but I'm just questioning the whole pet thing. I don't even like to call little cowboy a pet, which sort of denotes ownership and that she's here for our pleasure. And of course, when we got her, when we weren't vegan, but we did get her for our pleasure, and like she is kind of almost a prisoner in in our home. Like we let her out when it's okay. I mean, she's not like an outdoor cat. I mean, cats would get so easily squashed around here by cars, and she's always been an indoor cat, and she doesn't really want to go out. She doesn't want to go far. She'll only really venture into the garden when we're out there, or I don't know, she's started to go out there a little bit more now, hasn't she? Now that it's a bit sunnier, we've had the door open, so she does have the opportunity. We've got a big walled garden, so hopefully like she's fairly safe. She's not street savvy, so she could easily get hurt by another animal or something. I don't really know how I feel about the whole thing, but I certainly don't have any judgment towards anyone, is all I can say. Just one particular year, I've been vegan for a little while, and I just saw a dog on a lead with a collar around its neck, and it really struck me odd. And I thought, hey, how is this a thing? Like not that we drag animals around by their throat, by their necks or whatever, but it seemed odd to me that they're constrained. And I don't know is the answer, to be quite honest. I'm interested to hear other people's perspectives.
You had a super chat, and then I'd like to draw your attention to a comment that is important.
Oh, okay then. Sorrelella71 kindly donated £2 Great British pounds, as she's often inclined to support the work of a local neighbourhood vegan YouTuber, and I appreciate her very, very much. And hello to you too. Thank you, darling. What's the haps?
So Taylor Marshall has commented a few comments, and I want to read them all to you because I think it's really important what he's saying.
Here's Taylor Marshall, everybody.
I had the worst bloating, kept me up all night. It's like my body doesn't handle any high fibre meals. I had a can of black beans and a bunch of cooked vegetables. Does your body adapt to consuming more beans?
Yes.
And he goes on to say, I'm thinking about going back to animal products. Really hard for me to put on weight and muscle. My body does not do well with high fibre.
Right.
So this is very important.
Yeah, so usually the thing is that we develop the gut ecosystem. It's called the enterotype. We develop a certain enterotype, like a certain habitat based on the foods we've been eating historically. Okay, so if you've been eating a lot of animal products, a lot of processed foods like refined, like flour, sugar, oil, stuff that comes out of like, packaged food, processed stuff, and not single ingredient, whole plant foods as grown from nature, you will have a Bacteroides enterotype. So there's hundreds of different types of gut bacteria, but they fall under two broad categories: Prevotella, which are the good bacteria that are helpful, and Bacteroides, which are the pathogenic bacteria which lead to disease. And now, so normally it's when people first switch over, you're either one way or the other. You won't have like an even split. You'll be one way or the other. And so I'm going to imagine that your Bacteroides dominant, unless you've been eating whole plant foods historically, like for the vast majority of your calories, you're going to be Bacteroides dominant. And so you can liken that to a zoo. Like you've had this zoo all your life, and you've been preferentially feeding carnivores. You got meat eating bacteria. Now, I know that there's other bacteria that eat sugar and alcohol, etc. But just for the sake of a simplification, imagine that you've got one type of animal that are, say, carnivores, and you've been given them meat to eat. Great. Now imagine all of a sudden. Oh no!
I just took my headphones.
Imagine all of a sudden you throw in a load of plants, a load of fruits and vegetables. What's going to happen? There's no one there to eat them. They're going to be out in the sun. They're going to start to ferment. They're going to rot. It's going to stink up the joint. It's going to create a lot of gases, you know. And imagine that in your colon, you know, it's going to cause bloating, potentially pain. It changes to gut motility, so it can be constipation, it can be diarrhea, or it can be constipation with diarrhea, like you have like hardened matter, and then the watery stuff will get round it, but you've still got like a blockage. So you can see there's more pain there, trapped, you know, wind. And so for the vast majority of people, that is the problem. That's the situation. And the way you get around that is by slowly transitioning over. So, you know, week 1, you put in a little whole plant foods and you take out a little of your animal products and your sugary, oily, refined carbohydrate junk. And then week by week by week by week, you slowly transition over and your gut microbiome has time to adapt. A lot of people say, oh, my body can't handle healthy foods. No, everyone's body has the potential to handle healthy foods. It's why they're healthy. But we've created this dysbiosis. We've created this problem, probably from eating the wrong diet for years and years. Or also, you can develop other problems. I mean, you can have a bacterial infection. You know, you can have certain other problems. I would say spend like 6 weeks, 2 months, just slowly trying to transition over. Don't rush it. Do it slowly, week by week, changing the ratios. If that isn't enough to do it, and in nearly every case it is, but if that's not enough to do it, perhaps you've caused injury by eating a poor diet for so long. And so you can now have a small intestinal bacterial overgrowth issue, you know, and that can develop at any time. I happened to have that happen to me last year, and luckily I worked with YouTuber Goji Man. Ran a test, diagnosed it. He advised me on some natural antimicrobials, and it fixed it like in short fashion. And that is the driver. Some experts say that maybe 84% of irritable bowel syndrome. It could be like SIBO that's driving it. So basically, SIBO is we're hind gut fermenters. So most of our bacteria live in the colon. You know, the ones I was then talking about, the Prevotella and Bacteroides types. They're meant to be in the large intestine, in the bowel, in the colon. Now, there's this valve called the ileocecal valve which separates the small intestine, so you've got your stomach leads into your small intestine. That's where all your absorption takes place. So the nutrients get from the digestive tract through the walls of the small intestine into the bloodstream. That's where that's meant to take place. You're not meant to have many bacteria there. You don't want much in the way of bacteria there. But then once the whatever's left over, so if you're eating healthily, it's soluble fiber and resistant starch. You want that to go through the ileocecal valve into the lumen of the colon, and now it's feeding these bacteria. And like I say, if it's fiber dominant, you're feeding the good bacteria. So these Prevotella strains, they make short chain fatty acids from this fiber and resistant starch. Notice it's short chain fatty acids. They create an acid environment. This is why I was saying you'll be either Prevotella or Bacteroides dominant. You won't be somewhere like in the middle. They'll be making acids. Bacteroides can't live in acid. You won't have much in the way of pathogenic gut bacteria. And your potential for great physical and mental health is, you know, you've got that real linchpin of health there. That's the cornerstone. That's the number one thing you need to, I think, really need to address. And so, so hopefully that's it. If you still have a problem, perhaps you've got SIBO, perhaps you've developed an organic acids issue, perhaps you have a bacterial infection. Perhaps, if you've not been eating enough bacteria, the colonocytes, the cells of the colon wall, they preferentially are fed by these short-chain fatty acids. There's one called butyrate. That's what they have for energy. And when they have enough butyrate, they knit together tightly and they form a barrier, you know, between the intestinal contents and the bloodstream. And they only, you know, they let through what they're meant to let through. If you've not been eating enough fiber and your Bacteroides dominant, the chances are they've not had enough butyrate. They've not had enough of this short-chain fatty acid to give them the energy to knit tightly together. Now, the junctions are weakened. It's called intestinal permeability. You may have heard it referred to as leaky gut syndrome. And now particles of food, of healthful food that have not been digested properly, can get into the bloodstream, and then they can set up problems. And now you're like allergic to these foods and things like that. There's several different things that can go wrong. I'm not the best man to tell you all about that. Really, I'd say subscribe to Goji Man. Check out his videos. He also does consultations and testing and things. So if you're unlucky enough that it's not just the first issue of an incorrect gut microbiome, that's the path you would then need to go down. But fingers crossed, it's not that.
Been tested for SIBO, didn't have it.
Oh, great.
Noticed when I consume peanut butter cashews, it can really mess up my gut. Maybe an allergy. I'll try something those out.
Yeah, so that sounds like a nut allergy, potentially.
Might not even be the beans, to be honest, is what you said there.
Yeah, so food elimination. There's the old FODMAP diet. Now, that FODMAP diet is meant to be short term, because those types of fibre, those sort of sugars, they are these prebiotics. They're these healthy types of fibre that feed these good bacteria. So you don't want to take them out altogether forever, but perhaps short term you want to do a kind of elimination type diet. And the main offenders are things like beans, stuff like that. What is FODMAPs? Fermentable, oligo, di and monosaccharides and polyols. So foods that are high in these things, perhaps you want to take them all out, then add in a little bit of one, like try out which ones are good for now. But ideally, you'd want to be working with a professional. It's a bit above my sort of level of expertise, but someone like Goji Man, he's a real expert on gut health. So I would point you in his direction, if indeed your doctor can't help you.
And can we wish a happy birthday to Duchess Lips?
Happy birthday, Duchess Lips. Okay, guys, quick. We want some balloons. We want presents. We want some party poppers, some streamers.
Birthday cakes.
Birthday cakes.
Healthy ones.
Healthy birthday cakes. Some champagne glasses. We need some emojis up in it. Yasmin's first. Yasmin, you win the internet for today. Well done. Lovely, Julia. Lovely array there. Oh, and a rose. Nice. I didn't think of roses. And some love hearts. Oh, and there's Peachy Vegan Goddess in there.
Yeah.
Why haven't I seen her?
You haven't got down that far yet.
Oh, I got stuck for some reason. Yeah, hi, lovely. How are you doing on? And how's that lovely fella of yours? I hope he's doing all right. Sean Forrest, can I do your workout program on 3 times a week?
You mean if you write him a plan?
Yeah, have I worked with you before? Do you mean a pre-existing plan? I know your name is so familiar to me, but I don't know if it's because I've been on here or if we've done a plan already. But yeah, it all depends really. It just has to be balanced. So I myself, I was going to do a whole body 3 times a week split, during this coronavirus thing where I'm still going. I've decided to go on to a 6-day a week. I'm doing whole body push, whole body pull every other day over 6 days, and then taking a day off for active recovery. So it just depends on exactly what the program is, basically. But as long as you've got balance in terms of the amount of exercises, volume, intensity, number of sets, frequency, it all has to be balanced, basically. If you tweak one thing, not yet, but think of purchasing and moving after the gym reopens. Yeah, whatever you want, basically. I think 3 times a week for the masses is probably about optimal in terms of training. Much more than that, it starts to raise your cortisol more, you don't recover so well. And that really, but then again, if your intensity is lower, you could get away with actually doing more. But my preference has always been, more like 3 times a week for a natural lifter, but hitting it hard, rather than half-assing it and having to do multiple sessions. That's my preference. Other people say, you're better off training more frequently and less aggressively, and then because of the nitrogen retention thing, but I'm not sure that that's right. Like I've tried training that way, and I didn't get on with it, and I know other people who are the same. Sometimes the science can say one thing, but actual real world application can say another. I guess it depends. We're all individual as well, so that certainly comes into it. But you have to basically get the amount of intensity right for you, and the proof of the pudding is like, is it working? People say to me, is this a good plan? Is this a good plan? And my perspective is it working for you? Like, are you getting stronger or bigger each week, or are you losing weight and getting weaker, or have you stagnated? And I say, like, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Like, if it's working, it's good. If it's not working, you need to change it.
You had a super chat.
Super chat. Oh, Victoria Morris, you lovely lady. You're always supporting us. Kindly donated 99 Great British pence and a birthday cake. Whose birthday was it again? Duchess's lips.
Yeah.
You can have that slice, Duchess. You can have that slice. Get your lips around that.
Oh God.
You always have to lower the tone. What were you thinking about?
Cake.
Cake. Thanks for the support, Victoria. We really appreciate you. Right, I'm going to nip forwards a little bit in the chat. Asuma, hey Hench, hey yourself, thanks for joining. Who are you? Where are you from? What are you up to? Are you vegan? Are you thinking about being vegan? How's it where you are? Are you warm enough? I like to find out about them. Oh, I can't read. I've forgotten how to read. That's Michael, isn't it? Not Michelle. I've forgotten how to read.
Yeah.
No, that's Michael, is it?
Michael, yeah.
It is Michael. Michael Taylor. Sorry, I had a brain fart.
I think you're making me.
I think it's because I'm on my diet now, and I'm quite a way in, and I'm a little bit undercarbed. Yeah, it is Michael. Why was I? Bought your ebook the other day. Love it. Do more, please. Thank you so much, brother. That's really kind of you. So we put our ebook to half price during the Corona thing because A, we thought no money was coming in, but B, we thought it will help everyone, inspire everyone to eat better, have a better immune system, prevent, treat, and hopefully reverse some of the killer diseases that do raise your risk of catching and dying from COVID-19. But that's gone really well. So
I'll post a link.
thanks to people like you for supporting us. We really appreciate you. Sean Forrest kindly donated £2 Great British pounds and the Costa coffee. You're really kind, brother. Thanks, mate. Thank you very much. And I look forward to working with you when you're ready. That'll be cool. Holly Alexandra Dyke. If we work out when intermittent fasting, can we still have gains? It depends how you do it, but it does make it harder, I would say. And I don't think there's any benefit to hormonal profile that would really warrant it. There's benefits to health. Not saying that you can't gain like that either, but especially if you're eating healthy whole plant foods, then it can get harder to get enough volume of food in. And for most people with the IF, it is kind of for fat loss like reasons. And so if you are trying to lose fat, well, the whole foods plant-based diet works so well anyway that you don't need to do IF. Look at the other primates, the other 633 primate species that we share this planet with. They're all grazers. They're all eating constantly throughout the day. None of them are doing intermittent fasting. None of them. But again, not saying that that's not a healthy thing, because it is. There are definite health benefits. Jan Schlosser kindly donated £2 Great British pounds. Hey Paul, YouTube, Pat McDonald, History of Man. I've not heard of that before. I shall, and thanks for the support, my friend. You're very kind. Beep, boop, beep, boop. 1 second, please. Searching. That looks interesting. So yeah, we're an ape, and then we evolve into a man, and then we've got fat guts. Why can't I?
Feeds failing on trails untrod.
Oh, it's a Shut up!
Waves
Oh, it's a Shut up! It's a song. I'll give that a listen later on. Thank you, brother. Can get done for copyright if I'm not careful. Holly, I find it hard to stay cleansing, but also gain strength and muscle. My friends call it clean building. It does make it harder. It's not easy. It's not easy. Me, myself, I try to eat as whole foods as I can. I have a couple of scoops of a protein powder. And then I'll kind of funk around with the caloric density of my food. So I'll still eat a big volume of food, whether I'm bulking or cutting. I'll eat a similar volume, which is quite big. But on a bulk, I'll sort of drop things like apples and oranges, and I'll go more towards mangoes and dates. I'll still have a lot of legumes, but I'll have some tofu, some tempeh. I'll go higher in nuts and seeds and avocado. And I'll use more kind of smoothies. I'll use more still whole grain, but I'll have the odd sort of few rolls or pasta, just things that are easier to kind of break down and digest. I think that's the best strategy. Jamie Alcock, hey Paul, I've just bought your cookbook. Thank you. Can't wait to read it and make your recipes. Stay positive. Love you both. Mwah. I've met you in person and you're lovely. And you're lovely as well for saying that and for supporting us. Really appreciate that. Guys, I know a lot of you have bought our book lately, so we really want to say thank you. And please, 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 if you're going to post any recipes on the gram, do tag us in it, because we love to see... We do want to see our creations all around the world. Like, it just brings... such a lovely feeling, and but yeah, we really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Victoria Morris, I really recommend the ebook if anyone's thinking of buying it. I've made perfect scrambled tofu. It's so easy and delicious. It's from somebody who's ever cooked before. Thanks, lovely.
Oh, and you're giving away a free document, aren't you? A guide to how to eat plant-based successfully. And if you've bought the book today, I haven't sent them out yet. I sent yesterday's out, but if you bought it today, I'll send it out after the stream.
It's on its way to you.
It's on its way.
Right, where was I? Why does this always jump and then I don't know where I was? That's frustrating me. The vegan metalhead, you should do a video on Kazu Mazu. It's a cheese with live maggots that people eat. Nice. Don't know that I'd really want to look at it. Thanks for drawing that to my attention. No, I can't delete the mental image. Holly, just hard. I feel like I am always teetering with even eating cooked and raw, just so I follow Dr. Morse and with patients. Trying to do it all. I think it's so easy to get into someone's beliefs, and not to be unkind. I don't know if he's looking different now, but like when I used to watch him, he was quite out of shape, and I think, you know, if you're such an expert with what you're talking about and it is the be all and end all, like how come you've not optimized your own physiology? Like I don't know. I know, you know, but then I look at Dr. Milton Mills and he's in a similar boat, but I know that he does know what he's on about. So not saying that he doesn't know what he's on about, but You know, the whole cooked and raw thing, there's no data to show that one is better than the other. There's no data. There is data to show that eating the widest possible range of whole plant foods is best to optimize our gut health, which then is best to optimize our total overall systemic health. So for that reason alone, like I would caution against really eating all raw. You're just missing out on so many other beneficial foods. If there was data to categorically state, yeah, if you eat raw, you'll live 5 years longer, you know, it's better for this reason, here's all the science, fine, but there is none. There's just conjecture. But when proponents of it speak with such certitude, you know, and they use clever words like certitude, they sound like they know what they're on about. It's easy to it's easy to get blinded by the science. Right, receiver, tofu greater than kung fu. If done right, no can defend. That was karate. That was Karate Kid, and that was the crane kick. Wah-ha! It's actually pronounced gong fu, did you know? It's actually pronounced gong fu. What a crazy mixed up world we live in. Bafo Metricon, you lovely person, kindly donated a whole 5 Great British pounds. It's very generous. What's up, dude? Do you make your own nut/seed milk? That's a rather rude, isn't it? No, I'm lazy.
Now who's got a dirty mind?
I should do. It would be better to make your own. I rarely use milks, to be honest. Very rarely. Maybe more on a bulk. I might be inclined to use like a pint or so, perhaps.
Dr. Greg has got a great recipe in his How Not to Die cookbook. It's just
How not to. Oh yeah, it is How Not to Die, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's just like some nut butter, a little bit, blended up with water in the blender.
Yeah, that works well, doesn't it?
To make like an almond milk.
Yeah.
Such a good idea. It's so much faster than nut bags and try
Nut
that.
bags.
Try that.
Don't you swear on my channel. Yeah, nut or seed butter and water. Whiz it up. You've got milk. Good point. I'd forgotten that. Lucy, what do you think of Simon Amstell's film Carnage? I sent a link to it to someone I'm dating and can't see it. They're not going. He wants to try going vegan. Yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it? I think that is the most clever piece of activism that has ever been. Like, it's masquerading as a piece of comedy, and I think people will be laughing at it so hard before they realise, oh, wait a minute, I'm laughing at my own hypocrisy. Maybe he's got a point. You know, they show like the chicks going in a blender, but it's either in cartoon form or like puppets or something like that. And brilliant. Yeah, and I'm not surprised. Where is he? I just saw that Dr. Leo Venus is in the house. What up? Do subscribe to him. He's great. And he's on the YouTubes and the Gram. He's qualified as a doctor, and he's bringing all the vegan science with all the studies which he cites, and he's making carnivores look like idiots, which is an important thing in today's society. Yeah, we're streaming every day. To be honest, Leo, it's just a bit of connection for me, and obviously me and Jem live together, so we're very grateful for that. But just every now and again, you want to communicate with some other fellow humans, don't you? So we're really enjoying it. We really appreciate everyone joining, and thanks for you joining the stream. I caught a little bit of yours. I didn't know that was on quite yet. I have notifications switched on for you. I know I do, but I don't seem to ever get notified of streams. I think that's just YouTube in general. If only there was a way to sort of let people know, like, better. That's a pain. Anyway, thanks for joining. What have you been up to, Leo, over there in Spain? And which city are you in? I'm interested. We had a super chat. Is it Carl Davies?
Yeah.
Carl Davies kindly donated 99 Great British pence and a little black pussycat. That's really kind. I'm a huge fan of cats, and thanks for the support. It's all All helps. Keeps the old cameras rolling, keeps the wolves from the door, and keeps us in cans of beans and loaves of bread, so we can have beans on toast every night, which is what we like. Yep. So, So, Dr. Leo Venus and I want to do a collabo soon. Would you guys like to see that? And what would be a good topic for us to do? Or what type of video would you like to see? Because I'll be honest, I'm rubbish at coming up with collabo ideas. I've done a few in the past, and it's normally always down to the other person to sort it out. I'm terrible. Dr. Leo, awesome technology is coming in helpful. Yeah, it really is. It really is. Richard Benham, hi guys, did you ever see Living on the Veg by the Bosch lads? No, was that a TV show? Because we don't have a TV anymore. We decided to just skip that whole thing.
Race Lever wants me to ask you a question. I wonder if you were about to get to it, but
Yeah.
then you got distracted.
Yeah, what is it?
The best way for him to reach you. Oh, I think he was asking. Yeah, happy, healthy vegan, doing live stream collaborations. Suggested he do one with you. He said he would if you were interested. Would you?
Yeah, one of his other moderators asked, and I certainly would. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Ryan and Ange. I'm hoping to get out there to California at some point and meet up. But yeah, I did say to the other lady I'll be well up for that.
You gave your email address for her
Yeah,
to pass on to him, didn't you?
yeah. Do pass my email on to him and tell him I'd be hugely up for that. I'd really enjoy it. Yeah, he's a lovely guy. Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Race Lever. Yeah, how was that Living on the Veg malarkey? I'm interested to hear.
Someone's idea, doctor and bodybuilder destroy protein myths as a topic for you guys.
Yeah, that's pretty decent, isn't it? That's pretty decent. Yeah, let's make a note of that somewhere.
I will do it. A couple of people are saying they get notifications about my streams. Very good, thanks guys. Noah, do you think Sverige will... my end result of the rubbish they put in their mouths, so animal products, processed junk, sugar, oil, refined flours, all that malarkey, and because of the things they don't put in their mouths, which is whole plant food. So there's about a 75% chance of it, probably more because he's just eating the rubbish stuff. Love me. Oi, cowboy, love me. Come on. He's not playing ball. You don't want to.
Dr. Leo Venus, outside Barcelona. I thought you were that way. Town called Sitges. How do you pronounce that? Beautiful and sunny. You should visit, Paul. I would love to. I would dearly love to. So, yeah, once these travel restrictions are down, yeah, that could be a date. Are you up for a bit of Spain?
For sure.
Sunny Spain. I hear Barcelona is great for veganism. Is that a fact? Noah Lou. Oh, why has this jumped again? Why people are leaving the vegan movement? So these like ex-vegan YouTubers, mostly they ate a very restrictive diet. Some of them didn't supplement with B12. They did sort of very esoteric practices, and a lot of them had gut issues. We were talking about gut issues earlier, weren't we? And how if you got SIBO, things like that, bacterial infections. I'm looking at Tim Sheaf on that one. SIBO, like Ravana. Animal products are not antibacterials. Like they're just dirty fuel that, if anything, will compound gut issues, cause inflammation. They don't have the short chain fatty acids, you know, the butyrate that feeds the colonocytes that makes them hold tightly together so you don't have gut permeability, so you don't set up allergies. They're just very, very silly people. And I think part of it as well, truth be told, some people say to me, like, why has Frank Tufano got a bigger audience than you? And I'll tell you why that is. Veganism is huge now. There are hundreds and hundreds of vegan YouTubers. Now the carnivore diet is, you know, some people are interested, there's some interest in it. It's a fraction and it's not growing like veganism. But there's a decent amount of people stupid enough to be interested in the carnivore diet. Name me 10 carnivore YouTubers. Name me 10. You can't. And so this is it. So if I was to now start a carnivore channel, I'd blow up overnight. I'd have many times like the followers in a short time. That's why, like, it's just diminishing returns from veganism kind of being a victim of its own success in a kind of a way, if you see what I mean. Some of the bigger festivals now are like folding because you can get vegan stuff everywhere all year round, all the time. I'm just going to skip forwards a little bit because I'm conscious I'm probably lagging behind. Do pop your comment or question back in the chat if I missed you.
Someone asked for a wave, which is why I just did that.
That's fine. Jibril Ali, favourite nut butter? Almond. I love the taste, and especially on a lower fat, whole foods, plant-based diet, vitamin E can be a bit of an issue for people if you're not quite savvy with your food choices. Out of the nut butters, almond is tops for that. Also, like some sunflower seeds are really great as well. And I guess you could get sunflower seed butter, but that just doesn't taste as good. Nomadic Hobbit, we are a vegan family, both of us vegan for several years, and daughter's now nearly 3. I'm vegan since birth, thriving, and living not far from you in Bury St Edmunds. I know very well. Love you guys. We love you too. Oh, that's awesome. Great to hear. I love to hear its success story. I really do. Noah, do you think Frank Tufano will die in his 40s? Sadly, these diseases do take decades to present oftentimes. You can be unlucky and die like in your 30s, or you can be really lucky and get away with it and live nearly as long as someone who eats a lot more healthy. Obviously, he's overdoing it more than most, so the chances are he won't have such a long and happy and healthy life. But, you know, you can't really predict these things. But I see why you'd say that. Varilus, Frankie Boy sleeps in a Faraday cage. He does strike me as quite insane. www. Where do you live? I live in Norwich in the UK, in England. I hope you're not related to that YYYY guy, because he was an a-hole. I'm wondering if it's him in disguise. That's probably why I said that. Hopefully you're a good person. I'll judge you on your own merits. Julia A. Veganism is huge. Yeah, that's true.